Today we're going to talk about contouring because this seems to be one of the things that most of you want to learn more about, which is fair enough. It's, you know, quite a good thing to do to your face. Now the other thing we need to talk about today is highlighting, because if you're going to deepen the features of your face, I feel like you also need to think about the opposite side, which is the highlighting side. Now, there are a number of ways to contour and highlight your face. You can use powders, you can use creams, you can use, in terms of highlighters, you can use creams, you could use something that's a bit shimmerier. I'm personally a fan of the shimmery highlight because if you could sparkle, why not? While you can highlight and contour your face without makeup, for today's demo, because I want to actually show you how I would do it, cream versus powder, I'm going to put some makeup on, because
personally I find that powder contour and highlight is fine with no other makeup on, but for a cream highlight slash contour, I think you want to have some foundation on, just because like otherwise it seems a bit weird. Like you start putting a bit of makeup on, then you end up with a full face because you're like, it looks a bit weird on its own. If that makes any sense. I don't know, it could just be me, but you know, that's me.
So I'm going to go and put my face on. I'm very blind right now, just so you're aware, because I haven't put any contacts in. Let's first of all talk about what I've done. So I have done my eye makeup just because it would look a little bit strange if I did the rest of the face without it. I don't do my makeup in a particular order. You can do foundation and concealer first, you can do eyes after, you can do it vice versa. I've done everything on my face except conceal, highlight, contour, blush. All the things that make us look alive, basically, I have not done. So while my pallor is a little nicer, I do kind of look slightly more dead. So first of all, let's talk about how we contour. So traditionally, when you contour and highlight your face, you're doing it to make your face appear more oval shaped, because that is supposedly the perfect face shape. Personally, I like to contour because it's fun and it gives my face more depth. You can make your face look more oval if you want to. The idea being that, if you've ever done art in school, you might be aware of this. You want to make the things you want to be further away from you darker, and you want to make the things you want to be closer to you lighter. So that's why we highlight and contour. So for instance, I have more of a heart-shaped face. So it's wider at the top, more pointy at the bottom. So in theory, I should be contouring up here. And then also I like to highlight under my eyes, etc. If you have a square face, you may want to contour down here and up here to push the sides of your face in. Similarly with the circular face, you may want to contour all the way around. But saying that, do what you want, make yourself happy. It's entirely up to you. Makeup's fun, have a play. I'm sure there is lots of fun things you can look at in terms of face shapes. I'll find some and link them below just so you can take a look. Take a look in the mirror, draw an outline around your face and see if you can figure out what your face shape is. If you're not sure, feel free to flick me a message. I'll try and help, but again, I'll post a link below. Now, let's talk about products. So I personally have got a few different products I use for contouring. This is my face. This is the Too Faced contour powder. This is in the dark chocolate soleil. The reason I like it is because Too Faced is a cruelty-free brand and they smell so good. They smell like chocolate. They also look super fancy. They look pretty I don't know, nice packaging. It's just a bit nice. I also have this really old Revlon one which was actually gifted to me. This is a more of a lighter colour. So this is something I would typically wear during the day just because it's a bit lighter, a bit easier to get away with. I will use it on unpowdered, unmakeuped face if I'm just feeling a little bit dead, which is normal for me. I also have a Stila foundation here. This is obviously not my colour, however the older Stila foundations came with a cream concealer. So you can use that cream concealer as a contour. The same with the Morphe concealer I've got here. I could use this to do contour on my face. Let's look at the flip side of that, which is highlight. So personally, I have these highlighting drops, which I'll use if I have a very small amount of makeup on. I'll mix them into my foundation. They'll go all over my face. So technically I'm highlighting my whole face. It just gives your pallor a bit of a lift. I also really like the balm highlighters. I have 3 of them. This one here I've got today is this color here. And this is the Bonnie Luminizer. They just give you a lot. So if I swatch it here and then just pop some on my hand here, you can see that gives you a lot of highlighter. So you only need to use a little bit. It's very buildable. I would say if you're going to get one of the balm highlighters, just touch your brush to it, dust it off, and then put it on. There are also different highlighters. This is a sleek highlighting palette which has one powder which is in gold, and then it's got 3 cream ones. Their palettes vary with the cream to powder ratio. They're also very good, very affordable. This is the Precious Minerals one. You can see that these cream ones, these are a bit thicker. Now I don't like putting these on over foundation because I tend to find it takes the layers off, so I will often put these on before I put my foundation on, then build on top, and then I often will even top it with another one. When using cream and liquid concealer, I would put it on before I finish my face, so that's why I haven't powdered at the moment. When using a powder one, I think you could use it, like I said, without foundation, but I would also endorse using it after powdering as like a layer, and it kind of helps finish your makeup as well. So I'm going to do the 2 halves of my face differently. I'm going to do one with a cream and one with a powder so you can see the difference. I'm going to do the powder on this side and the cream on this side. I'll just powder this half of my face as well, just so that you can see what I'm talking about with the differences between them. Let's start with the cream side. So with a cream contour, I will typically come up under the cheekbone here. Now when you're doing a contour, you don't really want to come past the outside corner of your eye, so here. So you want to keep it in this section here, just to give yourself some lift. If you bring it too far forward, you're gonna look a little bit weird. It's gonna make you maybe look a bit hairy. It's gonna look a bit not good is the way I would put it. So if you're not sure how much you should be using, use a little bit and build up. You can use brushes for this. You can use, I'm going to use a sponge because that's what I like to use. So I will just demo how I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to take a little bit of the Stila cream contour for the purposes of this. So because I haven't powdered this side, the cream should blend in with the foundation. So I can either apply it directly to my face or I could put it on the sponge. In this case, I'm just going to dab it on with my finger. Let it get a little bit warm before I blend it in. So you can see it's just in a wee patch there. What you can do after that is take your sponge. I like to use a bit with an edge just so I can blend it out. This is a Real Technique sponge, but you can get one from your pharmacy or whatever. You can see I like to use this side a lot. Sorry, it's a bit gross, but you know, I wash the stuff for my clients a lot more. And because I'm quite a hairy person, you want to kind of be careful, because if you put too much, it can make you look even hairier. So we just blend out now. So you can see I've actually blended it out quite a bit. I would say a lot of the foundation's coming off on here to blend into it. That's not a bad thing. You can always add more contour if you want to. You can always add more foundation on top of it if you need to kind of tone it down. You can do your concealer contour underneath your foundation if you want to do it really dark and build up on top. This is just the way I've chosen to do it today. So you just want to enhance that there. We're going to build an imaginary cheekbone here because I do not have high cheekbones. The flip side of this is that I am going to highlight with a concealer. I do need to take my glasses off for this. Unideal, but I know. I'm going to be highlighting using a cream or a liquid concealer under my eye area here. The plus of this is that it also makes me look less tired, because I always look tired. It's one of those adult things, I guess, and also being half Indian, you tend to get a bit darker under your eyes. You'll learn what works best with your products. I have a Mega Max concealer here. This is not my favorite concealer. I will just prefix that. But what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pop a little bit here, and I like to, like I say, build it up. It's a bit easier. I'm going to take my sponge again, and I'm just going to blend it out. I might turn it around because like this side's covered in the dark stuff now. Still got a nice perfectly rounded surface on this side. And this bit here is really good to get under your eye, but you can use a brush, whatever works for you, or your fingers. I just find a sponge gets me a smoother finish. So I could also come and do a wee highlight strip down here if I wanted to. I don't usually get that extreme with my makeup just because I don't hate the shape of my face. I don't care that it's not perfect or whatever. I just like to enhance the features I've got. So the other place I would maybe highlight is just on my wee cupid's bow there. It's going to be hard to do half a face of, so I'm just going to do the whole bit there. I have lipstick on, so this could be slightly difficult. And then I would also just do a little bit on the tip of my nose, maybe down the center. You can also highlight your forehead if you want to. Typically, you want to highlight where the sun naturally hits you, so that would be like the forehead, cheekbones, nose, maybe the tip of your chin, where you like think the sun will hit you. Don't overthink it, you know, try stuff. If it doesn't work, try again next time. It's fine. It's just makeup, it's not the end of the world. After that, I'm just going to set this side here. And the reason once I've powdered I don't go back in over top of it is because it can kind of, if you put wet stuff on top of powder, it can sometimes create weird layers. Thin Lizzy is one of the only products I know, like wet product, they're concealers you can put over top of powdered makeup. It's they're actually underrated products, they're quite good in that way. Now because I use a tinted powder, that actually tones down the highlight a little bit, so normally I'd go in with a powder highlight, but I'll show you that after. If you use a translucent powder, it won't do that, but I like the tinted one because I will just sometimes wear this on its own. And this is the Mecha Max powder. Now I'll just show you the other side, popping my glasses back on, with a powder, contour and highlight on its own. So I will typically take a smaller brush like this. I will just tap it in, tap it off, and again I'm working from that outer corner of my eyelids backwards. I like to push it up my face because I like to blend it into my blush, which I will show you later. So I will typically start here and push it up. There's no rule to the size of brush you need to use. I just have a small face, so I use a smaller brush. And I will typically scrub backwards the way I think about it. That's why this brush is all like slanted, it's because I've done this a lot. This is a lot quicker, I will say that. That's why I like to use it a lot more than the creams, but I will do creams on my clients sometimes. I just don't have the patience on my own face. So you can see I've kept it behind this part of my face. I've kept it under the cheekbone and I haven't tried to take it too low. If you do take it too low, get a clean cotton tip, which this isn't, and just swipe it along your face a little bit to take some of the layers off. And if you use so you can see I've taken a little bit off there. If you use a tinted finishing powder like I do, you can pop that over top and it'll dull it down a little bit. So you can see the difference between the sides there. One is definitely softer, one is definitely a bit darker, but again it depends what you want to do it for. This you could do for like a nighttime, or if you do wear makeup every day. This is like a bit more casual, but again you can wear this anytime. Up to you, have fun with it. Now I have this big fan brush, but I do often use sometimes this brush for highlight. This is actually a buffing brush and I used it for my foundation, so I can't use it right now because it's filthy. I have also used this brush, which is technically like a blusher brush. Again, that's up to you how you want to highlight. I'm going to go in with the Bonnie Luminizer Stuff highlight. I will, with a fan brush like this, just kind of swipe it across, and because this is very pigmented, I will tap it off. I'm gonna just put the highlighter where the sun hits me, so for me that would be my cheekbones here. You can already see it's made a difference. You can see the sun kind of sliding off my face. You can go down your nose, so you'd kind of draw an exclamation mark down your nose, so like bloop, bloop. It's a bit harder with a brush this big, but it is possible. You can come back onto your cupid's bow. Even if you've used a cream highlighter, it's fine to go back over top. And typically I don't put lipstick on before I finish doing all my like face stuff, but you know, my lips look weird, so you can see there I've just like popped it on my cupid's bow. You can put a little bit on your chin if you want to. If you have a small jawbone and you want to bring it out a bit, you could highlight along your jaw. You could come over onto your forehead a little bit. I wouldn't recommend doing a lot there. One thing about highlighter is that it does tend to sit, so sparkly things tend to sit in your creases. So if you have quite a liney forehead, you may want to omit doing that and use something else here like a cream, or just use a foundation. If you want to get really detailed with your highlighting, you can grab a wee brush and come up along the top of your brow bone here, and then come in to the top of your brow here in your eye, and you'll just see the glow happening. So you can see the difference between the two sides here. Just put my glasses on so I can actually see. So you can see this side's very like glowy and what have you. If I wanted to, I could get a bit more intense with the contour up here. Because I am quite hairy and I have a lot of these little shark baby hairs that grow in layers, I don't tend to contour much around here, but I'll just pop some on to show you what I mean by that. And then I can't stop without talking about blush for a moment, even though it's not technically highlighting and contouring. If you don't put any blush on, it's and you've got quite a thick finish on your face, this is not what I would consider thick, but it's thick for some people, you do need to blush. It's what tells people subconsciously that you are alive. If you don't have it on, you look a bit weird. I just have this cute wee brush here. Again, use whichever brush works for you. Again, tap it off. This is a Napoleon Purtis blush, so fun for that. And with the blush, you want to go typically from the center of your eye and no further back than here. So you can see how it can join into your contour a little bit. For like the e-girl makeup that makes you look younger, I guess, you bring it up a bit higher. Typically you want it on the apples of your cheeks. So if I smile, it's like here. I will just pop it on and blend it back. And there are cream blushes. I don't have any myself though, so yeah. You don't want to come any further forward than the center of the eye, and just a little bit back. So just a wee blob and blotch, and then if you want to, come back in with your contour brush and build it up again. So friends, this is my demonstration of cream and powder, highlight and contour. You can see you get two very different looks. You can combine these things. I will in fact just finish the side of my face with the powder just so you can see what that looks like. So here is my final look, and with the glasses because, you know, seeing is fun. Had heaps of fun with this tutorial for you guys. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to do, particularly anything relating to pole or performance makeup. Do a lot of that, so I'm quite happy to help. You can see the transformation that contouring and highlighting makes to your face. Adds dimension, depth, very important on the stage because your face gets flattened with all the lights, etc. This can just be fun to play with as well though. You know, good for photography, and yeah. Thanks for watching. I will be posting further videos soon to help you guys. Anyway, thank you for watching, friends. I hope you have a good time in isolation. Take what you will from that. Have a play with your makeup. You know, take note of things you want to try when you can get further products. Comment below, subscribe if you want to see more of this incredibly wholesome content. Yeah, bye.